Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bashum, Yahushai, Bashum, Marachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. Now I'm watching this video here. This is Priest Hakah. I think that's what he goes by now. All right, Genesis Israelites. And it caught my attention. That's why I clicked on it. It was posted 4 hours ago, so I guess he went live today to address this topic in which he's responding to IUIC on the Sabbath day controversy. And I got about 13 minutes in where Hakah actually plays a excerpt from their video addressing, this topic. And what you see on the screen is, I guess, a source that they cited, concerning the Shabbat. And, you can see it in the screen. I don't know where they get this source from or what book this is from. But I don't know of no other sources that actually states that the 15th day of the month, all right, would be a new moon. Now, this source right here is actually saying that the 15th day of the month or the full moon is a Sabbath day, which the Bible makes it clear when you read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. All right, the 15th day of what month is that? I believe the 7th. Was it the 7th month of the year that you're to have a feast? I believe it's the Feast of Tabernacles. If I'm not, let me go to it just to be sure. But I believe it's dealing with the Feast of Tabernacles. Real quick. Yep. Leviticus 23 and 34 says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord." Let's finish that real quick. Verse 35, "On the first day, which would be the 15th day, at evening shall be unholy convocation. You shall do no servile work." So that means the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles is a Sabbath day. So you don't go to work, right? You don't do no servile work because it's a Sabbath day. So on the Feast of Tabernacles, the 15th day of the month, if I look outside of my window in the evening, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see if it's not cloudy, I'm going to see a big bright moon, a full moon. Okay. This is what you will see during the beginning of this feast. And then it starts to wane, once you end off the week of that feast. All right. And then you have two more weeks going into the new moon, which will be a new month. So this source that they were trying to read from in their lesson, talking about the IUIC, this very source that they read actually cut themselves. Because you're admitting that the full moon, yeah, it's a Sabbath day, but it ain't talking about the new moon. Well, how could you begin your month in the middle of a month? That doesn't make any sense. For anybody in the IUIC, take this challenge on the 15th of every month, because y'all go by the Gregorian calendar, right? Y'all don't really go off of the lunar calendar. So if we're going by the Gregorian calendar, right? Every 15th day of each month at nighttime, look out your window or, step outside your front door, maybe go take the trash out and look up and look up at the moon and see what you see. It's in the middle of the month now. And what do you see? So if you seeing a full moon, but you're saying that full moon represents a new moon. But yet you guys follow the Gregorian calendar. So you dudes have no idea. All right. You have no idea that you're really misleading the people. But we get it. The zombies over there, they're gonna believe everything that you say. Like the scriptures tell us, the simple believeth every word. So you got all the zombies that believe everything. They don't do their own searching. They're not really diligent. That's why they flock to these type of teachers. All right. But anyway, I'm actually play some of the audio from this live that Hakad did earlier. All right. Let me play it real quick.
Akkadian word, Shabbatu. So there's an Akkadian word they have called Shabbat. Go ahead. The 15th day of the month. Or full moon. So they had another Akkadian word for Shabbat, which is deemed to be the full moon, which is accurate.
Bro just read a source that cut his own doctrine. They teach that the new moon is the full moon. They're the only ones on earth since human civilization that believe that.
Bro, you couldn't make this up. You could not make this up, man. And I'll give it to Hakad and Assad, even though we don't rock with them dudes at all. But they're studious. They can at least detect, when there's certain errors. All right, and this is a major error. How could you really confidently say that the full moon is a new moon, but the source that you just quoted, that you just cited from, literally says that the 15th day is a Sabbath day? And according to that source, what are they going by? They're going by the lunar calendar. Every 15th day on a lunar calendar is a Sabbath day. But it doesn't make it a new moon because it's a full moon. So yeah, they I think that sounds like yeah, and that's him in the screenshot. All right. We used to call him the lemur. We don't we don't say that, you know what I'm saying? Because we try to refrain from using ad hominems, but every once in a while, we be joking. But Deacon Ayathan, all right, that's him speaking. He don't realize they fell on their own sword by bringing that source out, because it is admitting that the 15th day would be considered a Sabbath day. Now, if the 15th day is a Sabbath day, count back 7 days. What day would you get when you subtract 7 days? The previous Sabbath day will fall on what day? The 8th day. And then count another 7 days. Subtract another week from the 8th day. What day does that fall on? Another Sabbath day, which happened to be what? The first day. That's the new moon. It's not going to be no freaking full moon, man. The full moon is not going to come on the first day of the month. You're the only people on earth that teach that. Trying to separate yourself, but yeah, you are separating yourself. All right, separate all the zombies, so that the elect can actually get away from you. Attract all the zombies to you. Anyway, let's keep going.
They believe when it's a full moon, that's the first day of the month. He just brought out a source that said the Akkadian word Shabbatu means the 15th or the full moon. You can't make this up.
Go ahead. And the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. The reason why they're saying new moon be gone and Sabbath be gone is because both of them independently are Sabbaths. They're both of them, the new moon and the 7-day Sabbath, are Sabbaths, and Israel did not want to observe it.
He just admitted that the new moon was the Sabbath. That means it's not a working day. So every new moon would have to fall on a Sabbath. Wow, game over.
You got one novice. That's why IUIC, we keep to ourselves with all our brothers, but we don't affiliate. We do not affiliate with no other Israelite camps. We do not affiliate with none of them.
Yeah, that's good. Because the scriptures say we can't walk together unless we be agreed. And two, the scriptures say we're supposed to all speak the same thing, that there be no divisions among us. So yeah, that's actually good. And get all the zombies and have them go your way, because you're not going to deceive the elect. The elect will be able to get this right. It's not really a hard topic to really understand if you really go into it and study it. It's not hard at all, man.
Y'all understand? Some doctrines that they teach will get you killed. What you see them wearing them stupid Cites or whatever the hell they.
Well, if you're talking about doctrines that'll get people killed, well, I'm pretty sure, and there's plenty of evidence, you teach that brothers that have wives that don't believe, you're supposed to get rid of her. You're supposed to be only with a believing wife. So if you have a believing wife and she be pleased to dwell with you, but she's not a believer, you teach that that man is supposed to get rid of her. What exactly are you doing if you get rid of your woman? You're causing her to commit adultery. But you want to talk about doctrines that will get you killed. Profaning the Sabbath day. Y'all teach you can have sex on the Sabbath day. And Hakah and them, they teach that too. That's a doctrine that can get you killed. Anyway, let's point out the hypocrisy, but let's keep it moving.
Be wearing that them Amalek wear. Guess what you men gonna do? Y'all might think it's cool. And you all start wearing them Zixies too. Then we gotta kick you all up out of here. Y'all get the hell up out of here. Why you wearing Zixies?
Maybe they didn't know that the English word in the Bible for fringes goes back to the Hebrew word zitzit, Passover, 20.
All right, that's it. That's it. Now, it goes into this little, because these dudes be grifting. But anyway, let's go here, because this is a scripture that they always like to use, to try to teach their new moon, full moon dogma. Psalms 81 and verse 3, and it says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. Now, they interpret that because when you look up the word for in a time appointed, the word is kasa. And it says here in the Strong's definition, and this is their stumbling block because the blue letter actually goes off with that. But they take this for face value as if this is a certified source, of truth. And they don't have the discernment to know when the blue letter even puts misinformation in their definitions. The full moon, all right, is not in the middle. All right, is a full moon is basically not in the new moon. Now, when you actually read the verse in its context, it's literally saying blow up the trumpet in the new moon and also on your solemn feast day. And there happened to be a particular feast day, all right, that falls on the first day of the month where you blow the trumpet. That being what? The blowing of the memorial of trumpets, or the feast of trumpets, which is the first day of the month. I believe it's the first day of the 7th month. You're to blow the trumpet. All right. So let's real quick read it in the NLT. And this is what it says. It says, blow the ram's horn at new moon and again at full moon to call a festival. So there it is. This translation, it makes the separation that you blowing the trumpet in two different occasions pertaining to this verse. It's not saying that the new moon is the full moon. But this is what they do. They manipulate the scripture because they're trying to be different. All right. This is why what he was saying, that's why we don't affiliate ourselves with these other guys, with these other groups teaching this doctrine and that doctrine. Yeah, and we don't associate with dudes who manipulate the scriptures the way y'all do. Turning Job 10 and 14 into the mark of the MOTB, the mark of the beast. Y'all have no understanding whatsoever, man. So, this is one of the verses that they'll try to use. All right. And you look this up for yourself. You can go to all the other translations outside of the KJV, and it pretty much makes it clear. Let me go to the Amplified. That's one of the newer translations that I like to go to. And it says, blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on our feast day. All right, so this translation, even though I like to go to this one a lot, it doesn't read accurate, because we know the new moon is not a full moon. The NLT actually got it correctly. That's why the scriptures say in Timothy, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You got to divide the word of truth directly and correctly. Let's see what the NIV actually say. Yeah, Psalms 81 and 3 says, sound the ram's horn at the new moon, which is in the beginning of the month, and when the moon is full on the day of our festival. All right, which normally in the middle of the month, mid-month is basically when the full moon shines. It's at its maximum as far as its illumination mid-month, 2 weeks into the month, which is usually around the 14th and 15th day. All right. Let me see this real quick. Let me read this one. This is 2 Chronicles 2 and 4. And it says, now I'm about to build a temple for the name of the Lord, my power, and to dedicate it to him for burnt fragrant incense before him, for setting out the consecrated bread regularly, and for making burnt offerings every morning and evening, and on the Sabbaths, at the new moons, and at the appointed festivals. At the appointed festivals. So it says, and at the appointed festivals. So the separate festivals outside of the new moon festival, or aside from the new moon festival, it says, our power, this is a lasting ordinance for Israel. 2 Chronicles 8 and 13. It says, according to the daily, and this is still in the NIV translation, it says, according to the daily requirement for offerings commanded by Moses for the Sabbaths, the new moons, and the 3 annual festivals. Feast of Unleavened Bread, that's in during the first month. So we blow the trumpet on the 14th day at evening to the 15th day, and that's your first Sabbath day. That starts that evening of the unleavened bread. You blow the trumpet. That's when the moon is at its maximum. That's when it's full. It says the Feast of Weeks and the Feast of Tabernacles. They're not just now read in Leviticus 23. The 15th day of the 7th month is the Feast of Tabernacles. So we can reconfirm it. Let's go back to Leviticus 23. Hold up. Let's go back. Feast of Tabernacles. On the Leviticus 23 and 6, on the 15th day of the month, the Lord's festival of unleavened. Oh, slack it. Let me. Verse 34. Say to the Israelites on the 15th day of the 7th month, right? The Lord's festival of tabernacles begins, and it lasts for 7 days. The first day is a sacred assembly. Do no regular work. And so, according to the chapter, all right, that we read in Psalms 81. So you're to blow the trumpet during that feast, which is in the middle of the month, the 15th day. That's not the new moon. We know the new moon does not begin in the 15th day of the month. All right. We know that the word month goes back to moon. All right. So the first day of the month is the new moon. That's the Sabbath day. You do no work. Then, in let's say in this month, we have a feast coming up on the 15th day. That's when the full moon hits. We're to blow the trumpet and keep the feast for 7 days. It's real simple, man. They the ones who complicate it, and they're misleading their members. And only the elect are going to wake up and be able to see that. Otherwise, you're just a blind zombie, all right, that have no idea who you're being led by. Okay? So let's go to our Numbers real quick. This is Numbers 10. I'll go back to the KJV. This is Numbers 10. And it's dealing with the memorial of the trumpets. But we don't just blow the ram's horn on the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. All right. It's going to tell you basically every beginning of your month, you're to blow the trumpet. Numbers 10 and 10, it says, also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days and in the beginning of your months, you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings. So we have other solemn days besides the Feast of Trumpets. You blow the ram's horn, you blow the trumpet, the shapar. All right. It says, you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power. I am the Lord your God. So, yeah, man, IUIC, they're very, puffed up, but they're deceived at the same time. That's what the scriptures say. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. That's only because their arrogance is only getting, more extreme. More their pride is just constantly elevating. They're not willing to humble themselves. So the more that they become more proud and arrogant, the more they're going to be deceived, and they're going to deceive others. So, I had to, make a response after I saw that, because I was just watching it. And I was like, yeah, come on, man. And they have the audacity to sort that source, all right, to that Akkadian word dealing with the Sabbath day. That actually cut them. So you're admitting that the 15th day is a full moon based on that source that they cited. So good catch from Hakah. All right. So I'm going to end the lesson right there. And Lord willing, y'all edified. Let me give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.